So I put this meeting together. It actually goes back several years, back when I first started. And, I know we're down to the wire, but it's so important. These last 10 days are important of AEP, but we also have the rest of the year. So we don't stop on December 7th, just so you know that. We keep going. There's a lot of things that can happen during AEP and during the month of December. And so we're going to talk about that today, how to maximize that. And this meeting came about many years ago when, back when I was a field agent, and people used to wonder how I was able to make, tons of sales year in and year out during December. My first 8 years in the business, I was in the field. And I would average about 30 apps a week. And people are like, how are you able to do 30 apps a week when it's so hard to find seniors home? Everybody's busy. They're getting calls by telemarketers. As you guys see now, it's worse now than it was back when I was a field agent. So I'm going to give you guys some tips that are going to help you guys maximize this time over the competition, because everybody's scrambling now for those last sales. And remember this in Medicare, the last one that goes in on December 7th, okay, it is the one that counts. Doesn't matter what they did in October, what they did through November. It's that last app in, okay? So make sure not only that you're continually writing and helping these seniors that have procrastinated, these last 10 days, outside of the first 10 days of AEP, are the most important days, because there's so many people that procrastinated, so many people that got caught up in the elections, got caught up in distractions, like, I got to make a decision, okay? So even if they already have a plan, somebody says, I already picked the plan, no problem, let me review what you have. Because remember, it's the last one in, okay? So I'm saying that for another reason, protect your current clients. A lot of guys will go after your clients on that last day to flip them at the last minute, then they're stuck for a year. So make sure you guys protect your current business. So if anybody calls them your current book, make sure they reach out to you before they make a change, okay? So I'm going to go some quick tips this morning. So please take notes, okay? It's an important meeting. And I'm telling you, this is exactly, and I've modified it throughout the years, taken from some of the best in the business that I know that do the same thing. But it's about 95% of what I implemented back in those early days while I was able to average 30 apps a week throughout the month of November and December. And this stuff does work. So let's go ahead and go through the first tip. The first tip, okay? Go ahead, Michael. First tip. Okay, write this down. Okay, when you're booking your appointments, guys, it's important. You got to use deadlines. Okay, the deadlines are key. Okay, everyone. Well, I used to remember when I was an agent, I was struggling those early days. People would always say, "Call me after the holidays. Call me after this date." You got to use that in the beginning. You got to say when you're booking your appointment, say, "Miss Johnson, I want to make sure you understand we need to get this done before the holidays. Before they say, come see me after the holiday." When you're calling your lead cards. Okay, and calling to set appointments. So what I always say, we need to have your benefits delivered before such and such deadline, before this Friday, before this Wednesday by the end of business day. Okay, the final deadline for delivery is XYZ date, November 26th, December 24th. Especially during AEP, the big deadline for them is what? Come on, guys, it's on the screen. December 7th, right? So make sure you use that in your script. Because I would say that to my clients, Miss Johnson, I know you're doing Christmas shopping and there's a lot of things going on for the holidays with the grandkids and the kids. Just so you know, we got to get this done by December 24th or December the 7th. Here's why. Okay. And then go through that with them. So that way you take care of that see me after the holidays objection up front. Is everybody clear on that? Good. Tip number two. Go ahead, Mike. Tip number 2. Next slide. So you got to work extra smart. You got to put that extra in there next time, Mike. Extra smart. You need to double book, okay? I always have 2 9 o'clocks, 2 10 o'clocks, because I knew half my appointments, especially when I was working in the urban, highly congested communities, I would encounter a lot of no-shows. So the way I beat the no-show issue, I always double booked, okay? You need to do that. Okay, so that way, when you get no-shows, do the things that come up, holiday events. Things are still going to happen. They get sick. So you want to have at least 8 to 10 solid set appointments daily, okay? If you're doing this right, whether you're doing it over the phone or in the field, 8 to 10 solid appointments with 15 to 20 backup appointments through the forms of call and goes. I'm going to explain that shortly. what a door knock is and what are hot knocks. And you can be able to do this compliantly. So what are they? Go ahead, Michael. Let's go what they are. Okay. So you got your 8 to 10 solids, and then you want to have a backup plan. And what I would do is map out my leads. When I was in the field now, I would map out my leads, every single one of them, especially the no phone numbers, especially those that have been hard to get a hold of, or those that just keep putting me off. Next slide, Michael. Come on. Next slide. Next slide. So what a call and go is, while I'm in the field, I'd have my whole stack of leads. Many of you guys have hundreds of leads on hand. While I was in the community, I'd make those phone calls, okay? So I would call from my car. Remember this, if you're a field agent, your car is your office, okay? Now, this is not the case with call center agents, but it's the same concept. You know, you're working from either your office making sales or your car making sales. To me, I did telesales and field, okay? I did them both, okay? So you indicate that you're in that neighborhood. I'm in, Northeast Baltimore. I'm off of Hilton Avenue, whatever street I'm off of, and just say, I'm just blocks away, Miss Johnson. Say, I would say the street name. Let me just swing by real quick and get you taken care of so I can move on and help the other people in need. I used to say this, I got over 50 people Miss Johnson see this week. I got a lot on my plate. I got to get all this done before December 7th, okay? And you're on my list. I need to make sure I get you taken care of right away. Let me swing by in 10 or 15 minutes. That's what a call and go is while you're in a neighborhood. Is everybody clear on that one, okay? Any questions about what a call and go is? You just call and you go. Next slide, Michael. A door knock, okay? What is a door knock, okay? You show up at the house with a copy of the lead card. Always have your copies of your lead cards ready, okay, with their signature on it. You guys understand the signature gains credibility, okay? As soon as they see their handwriting on that, that's why it's so important. Please don't forget, part of our boot camp training, you need to make sure you're doing freshen up letters. Do a second freshen up letter. Do a third one. When they see their handwriting on their card, there's no doubt they sent that in. That's one thing that normally doesn't change, okay, over the last couple of years with them, okay? When people see the actual card and their signature, it gives you much more credibility. And don't forget, you got to have your ID, your lanyard, your ID on, okay? That's so important because I even say for a personal thing, we had someone stop out of our house unannounced. This guy had no identification on. He was a home improvement guy, wanted to see us on the day after Thanksgiving. Like, we booted him off the property. It's like, I don't know you. I don't know who you are, what you're about. But if he would have had a little lanyard on with a badge on, it would have gave me a little bit more confidence and safety. This guy was here for a reason. He had no identification. He had his truck didn't even have the name of his company on it. Oh, you ain't no home improvement guy. I think you scalping a house, okay? You need to get off our property. You understand? So that's why it's so important you dress a little bit, business casual, have your lanyard on with your photo ID on your blazer or around your neck. It's important to do that, okay? You have to do that because especially right now, there's all these news stories about seniors being scammed. You got to make sure you look extremely professional. You have your lanyard on with your badge on if you're a field agent. If you're a call center agent, make sure you give them your information up front when you're building your credibility with your client in the credibility stage. You want to give them your license number, okay? What state you're in, your AHIP certification, all that stuff's to gain credibility that you're just not some call center person or you're just not some, joker out there trying to, take advantage of seniors. Because believe me, they've all been warned with all the news stations, with the block watch groups. You have to distinguish yourself as a professional out there helping seniors. Everybody clear on that, especially when you're door knocking. Okay, make sure you keep it compliant now. Okay, there are rules to make sure, that's why our leads are not Medicare Advantage specific leads. We do that by design. Okay, and those that know how to sell, it doesn't matter anyway. The only ones that complain about that are agents that really don't know how to sell. They want to say Medicare Advantage all over the place. We don't do that for a reason. So it allows us to still be compliant and help seniors in need. Okay, just make sure if it turns in, you understand, you go into it when you do that to make sure it's compliant in a general insurance scope appointment. When it becomes a Medicare Advantage presentation, don't forget that presentation just changed. Hence, the scope of that appointment just changed. You need to do a scope of appointment. That's why it's so important. If you're doing it right, do the 60-second checkup where you cover quick questions, 60 seconds about their full benefit package, their final expense, their pre-need, their med sup, their cancer plans, their heart plans. So that way you keep it compliant. But again, if you find out it's going to be a Medicare Advantage presentation, the scope just changed. Do the scope appointment. Okay. Next, what is a hot knock? The third one, the hot knock. What a hot knock is just you just dropping by a client that you constantly talk to. Every time you talk to this lady, she's always busy. She's putting you off. Come see me next week. Come see me next month. Come see. And you know what? You can never tire down an appointment. I just swung by. These clients have a hard time saying no, which is a good thing for salespeople. They don't know how to say no. They just keep putting you off. What better client to go see while you're in the neighborhood, okay? So just make sure you do that. It really does work out well. Hint, the best time to drop by is usually the time when you talk to them. Okay, that's important, okay? Because they're there. So if they're always picking up the phone between 8 a.m. and 10, that's when you're normally home. Swing by then. Is everybody clear on that? Next slide, Mike. Next slide, Michael. And just make sure, I want to make sure we do this too. I know we didn't have that up there, Michael, but due to COVID restrictions, make sure you practice compliant CDC protocols just in case, wear face masks. I would always have one with me and extras so you get one to your client. I would still do the care packs like we did 2 years ago, guys. That still works. Hand sanitize, just make sure they're comfortable with that. And you can do the presentation in the home or outside the home, depending on the weather condition, up to your client's preference. Some of them might say, right now it's not a time, then book it for tomorrow. Or, hey, you want to meet at the local coffee shop? I did that a lot. I'll treat you to coffee and a donut, man. Let's just meet there if you feel more comfortable. Because some of them don't feel comfortable because their house is not clean. No problem. Let's meet at Dunkin' Donuts down the street, okay? Another good thing I used to do, especially if I was running late to appointments, I'm going to give you another tip. It's not on this board, but I always brought coffee to my clients. When I was running late, I'd call and say, Miss Johnson, I'm running a little late. I tell you what, I owe you. Let me pick up a cup of coffee for you and a donut. What's your favorite donut? I'm going to tell you, I never missed the sale on that. And they were never angry at me running late. They're like, no problem. Come on over. Someone say, hey, don't worry about the donut. I'm here. Come on by. But they at least appreciate the offer. So call them up, say, Miss Johnson, I'm running a little late. I apologize. Hey, I'm running by the Dunkin' Donuts. Can I grab you a cup of coffee and a donut on my way? Okay, because I feel like I owe you. What's your favorite donut? Oh, I like Glaze. I'll get you two. How about that? I'll see you shortly. Okay? Those little things help. You gotta remember in sales, especially in this business, they're being bombarded by dozens of agents. Okay? You need to distinguish yourself as the best. Extra service, being extra thoughtful, being extra caring, and going that extra mile. Is everybody clear on that? Next slide. Next slide, Michael. Next slide. Hopefully this is going good for you guys so far. You picked up some good tips, take a lot of good notes. Next slide, Michael. Oh, go back. I'm sorry. If a client is not home, I'm going to show you this. Michael, can you show my screen real quick? We have a patented delivery notice that I came up with a photocopy of the original lead card. Can you see that, guys? You can order that, or you can even use a Post-it note. I first started using Post-it notes, and I would just use this and leave it at the door. And I would tape, especially in the holidays, a nice candy cane. I picked up a box of these giant candy canes, it was like 30 of them in there for like $15, okay? And I would tape these to the door, okay? And you go to Dollar Store and get them cheaper. And all I would do is put the client's name, the delivery date, today's date, the time I stopped by, the invoice number. That was always my agent number. That way, when I came to the door, they said, what? That was also when I would call the client. So I said, there's a secret code or a reference number. That would be my agent number, okay? And I would say, if I was working in Alabama, I'd say Alabama 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was working in Pennsylvania, it's PA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be my invoice number or the reference number. I would always make the clients write that down. And I would put that on here. First tip, second tip, final tip. I would put my name, Tony Holland, and my contact number. They would call me. And I would take the candy cane, and in an envelope, I would put a copy of their lead card right in there, and I would tape it to the door. And I did that a lot with my no phone numbers or disconnected numbers. I'm going to tell you, 80% of those people will call me back because I would put the candy cane. They didn't know what I was delivering. Was it, but they knew it was something special, right? They liked the creative approach, a candy cane. They thought it was so sweet and nice. Come on over. Okay. Well, I'll be over in a little bit. Let me get you a cup of coffee and grab your donut. What's your favorite donut? Okay. Little things like that. The candy cane delivery notice and a copy of those lead cards. Make sure you put it in an envelope if you want to protect your personal information. What do y'all think of that idea? Good stuff? I thought I'd get at least an amen. Michael, can we go back to the last slide, please? They quiet this morning. They quiet, okay? Go ahead. They're taking notes, Michael. So listen to this. This is true. Look. The client's not home, use delivery notes. It works. Or if you don't have time to order them from us, use Post-it note. Use candy cane, tape it to the door. 80% will call you 24 hours. Did a little experiment with an agent one time when I was training some field agents in Baltimore. This guy gave me leads back. It was like 100 and some leads. He couldn't get a hold of them. It was a challenging part of Baltimore. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll prove it to you. They work. Oh, I didn't call any of those leads. I just did the delivery notice, put a little note on the door, copy a lead card. 80% of them people called me back within 24 hours. They just call out of interest, some of them. A lot of them just call. Did all of them turn into sales? No. But about half did. Of people that didn't have a phone number or was disconnected, it worked. And for telesales, you could have mailed the above, little letter, okay, about your goal of helping. It's kind of like a holiday freshen up letter. Happy holidays. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hey, I've been trying to reach you about your Medicare benefits. The deadline is approaching, December 7th. I need to speak to you by the end of the day. Here's my cell phone number and my office number. Just like we do in the fresh stuff. This is not rocket science. But see, lazy agents don't get it. They just wanted to have lay down leads and that. Oh, that's not how this business works. You understand? That's what 90% that lazy agents are in this business. That's what they do. You got to be different than them. You got to go the extra mile to earn that client's business. They know they have choices. These people are not stupid. They get 10 people calling them every day. What makes you different than the other 10? These little things count. Okay. All right. Next slide. I'm going to give you another good tip. Y'all want another good tip before we move on? Send every one of your non-interested, your no-shows, the people you just can't get a hold of, bad phone numbers, whatever the case may be, won't take your call. Send them a Christmas or holiday postcard and say just simple as this. Hi, Miss Jones. You know her name because it's on there. Been trying to reach you, but it's extremely important I talk to you. I've been assigned to you to help you with your Medicare. And the deadline is approaching December 7th. I need to speak to you today. Your name, handwritten, your phone number, right on a postcard. What a postcard's on, like 30 cents? I'm going to tell you, 80% of them people are going to call you just because you went the extra mile, were thoughtful. And think about this. Those people that ain't taking your phone call, ain't taking nobody else's phone call. You know why? They've been worn out by all the people on the election. I mean, how many of y'all told me that? Many of y'all said, man, these people are worn out. No one's answering the phone. Then what are you doing different to get in touch with these people? Because they still living. They're still out there. The agents are going to get them the one that will, and it takes that extra mile with the postcard. With stopping by the house, with leaving a note. But I'm going to tell you, those postcards will work because you how many agents do that? None? Then why don't you do it? I don't know any agents out there sitting there, no shows. They're not interested, or they're people that they can't get a hold of a little 30 cents postcard. None of them are because they're too lazy. But you can gather all that business. Try it out. Take 100 lead cards and do it. Guarantee. Prove me wrong. 80% of them people will call you. Out of those 80 leads that call you, okay, half of them will turn into a sale. Guarantee. So you just took 100 leads, 80 of those contact you, 40 of them become sales. I guarantee it. It might not be Medicare, it might be final expense, might be hospital indemnity. But guys, this is so freaking easy. A third grader can do this. All it is taking that extra step for your client, going the extra mile for your client. By doing that, you're going to own that book of business and all their friends and family as well. Is everybody clear on that? Can I get an amen on that? Y'all with me or not? Y'all hearing me?
Amen.
Guys, if y'all want to learn how to make 30 sales a week, average, because I've done it, put the camera on. Put the camera on, Michael. You can look up, and this is just my back office. My front of my office, I got every award you can imagine. Won every single award out there. I'm not just making it up. I got my own Oscar. I show you all that for a reason. I don't just talk it. I've done it. Okay. I've set sales records. This is the stuff I did. And people would be amazed. I would go on stage and speak in front of agents in American Income Life and Senior Life and Lincoln Heritage. Some of y'all remember me back in the day. That's the kind of stuff I did. And people would be like, wow, that's so simple. Wow, that's so easy. Yeah, a third grader could do that. Then why don't you do it? That extra mile was why I captured all that business, okay? It works. Next slide, Mike. Next slide, Mike. All right. We're on a roll now. So, as y'all can see, today I got my Santa's hat on. Guys, you can pick this up for $3 to $4. You got to have a creative approach. When I came to the house, I was dressed in Santa's hat. I'd have, look at this, Michael, put me on camera. Put me on camera. Show this. I'd have my Santa's bag, okay? I have my Santa's bag. I have my hat on. I got my nice blazer on. I have my candy cane. Many of them were sticking out. I would have them sticking out. My little pocket. People couldn't wait for me to come in the door. I used to have neighbors come outside. You come to see me next? Because I look different than the average agent. I don't look like an agent. I have my little lanyard on. Okay, I'm ready to help these people out. I'm bringing joy to their home. I had a creative approach. I had an agent, Maria Cooper, back in the day, would dress up like a Santa's elf. You know, she had many different outfits. She loved fashion, very pretty young lady. And she was called the camera girl. She would take pictures with her clients during the holidays. And she'd be the Santa. She would prop the camera up, boom, and leave it to them. It was her creative approach. She was different than every other agent in the community. People were begging for her to come out and see her. Next slide, Michael. Go back to the slides. I wanted to show that. Let's do it, Michael. Back to the slides. So, Santa's hats work. Ornaments work, okay? Candy canes. Little toys for their grandchildren. Holiday cards. I talked about that. Other small gifts. I used to do nice little Christian books, okay? During the holiday season, distinguish yourself from the average agent that does nothing. The average agent does nothing for you. They don't take the extra mile. People will respond to you better after they receive a special gift from you. But make sure you understand, don't go over $15 per client so you're not in any violations by any state insurance laws or CMS laws, just so you know that. Okay, dollar stores are great for that. Now, Michael, put me back on camera. I used to do mugs. It's one of my old mugs. This thing was like $3 or $4. You took them at the dollar store for like $1 a piece. Isn't that awesome? Do ornaments for the tree. People loved it. This was great. They had I always had boxes of toys in my trunk. So if they had grandkids, I'd go in the house. Hey, I got something for your grandkids. I'd bring them in and give them a little Matchbox card. This was like $5. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $1 a piece. I'd give them a little card. Little holiday puppets. Stuff like this. I picked this up for $5. $1 a piece. Little things like that. You know what else works? People love food. So you can actually, these are like individually wrapped cookies that I got at Target. Individually wrapped cookies. Seniors love that stuff. Isn't that cool? This was like $5. $5 for a bunch of cookies. So if you want to be more creative, little stockings, put something in there. I mean, just little things like that work. It works. Okay? It works. Back to the slide, Michael. Back to the slide, Michael. What do y'all think of those ideas?
Hey, Tony, it's Willie Mae. I just want you to know I just love you, Tony. I love your enthusiasm. You just got me pumped up early this morning. I just love you. Thank you for your ideas.
Thank you. And you know one thing I found out, the good Lord will bless you when you bless somebody else. You don't have to give somebody a $30 gift. I mean, can you imagine walking in a house with a mug, with a little Matchbox card for their grandsons, you know, little puppets for the granddaughters. You maybe spent $5, $10 total. It's more important that you made a difference in that family's life. How many insurance agents doing that for them? None. I tell you, none. How many of them bringing, you know, a personally wrapped cookie or a donut or coffee. You got to do those little things. God will bless you. Even if it doesn't turn into so what? You brought joy in that household. But I'm going to tell you this. I didn't miss. I guarantee, I don't know the exact rate, but I guarantee my closing ratio is in the high 90s. People, they would buy something from me, even if it was just a dental plan or a vision plan or a child policies. I was big on child policies back in the day. If I couldn't get her, let's say she already had her plan through the job, she was happy with it, she didn't want to change. What about grandkids? I got child policies. I was making the sale in that house. And not that they felt obligated, they just knew I was different than anybody else. They wanted to do business with me because they knew I was special. Because I started by bringing something special to them, that spirit of joy, the spirit of giving. And that's what this whole season is about anyway. I'm going to tell you, do this right, you'll never have to worry about sales ever again because they'll be sending you customers. You understand that? Next slide, Michael. Next slide. Next slide. Got more to share. I'm giving it to you. I'm showing you how to make 30 sales a week. I did it. For telesales and working appointments for the field, use, when you call, this is important now, say happy holidays out in the beginning. Ring, ring. Hello, is this Miss Johnson? Hey, Miss Johnson, happy holidays. I get out right up front. Did you do something special? Things that you go, who is this? Oh, this is Tony Holland. How you been? Oh, I'm doing good. I almost act like I know them. Well, where I know you from? Well, you actually sent me a card about your Medicare information, and I've been assigned to you to help out and make sure you get everything taken care of before December 7th, right around the corner. It's 10 days away. But how was your holiday? Did you cook this year? Did you do turkey? Did you do ham? Oh, you did both? I get right into that spirit of the holidays right on the phone call. Is everybody clear on that? And then after like Christmas, then I use, I hope you have a prosperous new year. Okay? And good or bad way that appointment went over the phone, I'm going to wish them well. I say, God continue to bless you, Miss Johnson. I say a quick prayer over them. I say, God bless you and your family. Maybe you have a wonderful holiday season and a very prosperous new year. And I'm sorry I couldn't help you this time, but I'm going to keep in touch with you. That's okay? You wouldn't believe how many people would say yes to that. They were like, yeah, absolutely keep in touch with me. Because how many people, when they said no to me on the phone, I still blessed them. You understand how important that is on a spiritual level and a business level? When I called them back, oh, you that man that called me around the holidays. I'm sorry I couldn't talk. I just had so much going on. Hey, I do need help. I always kept in touch with them, and I ended up doing business. Maybe not December, but I ended up doing business with them doing an OEP. Do you need business in OEP? Absolutely. So I would just follow up with them. Hey, this is Tony calling you back again. How was your holiday? How was your New Year's? Did you have black eyed peas? Okay. Did you go to church? Some of y'all don't know what black eyed pea thing is. That's a whole nother meeting. But anyway, y'all can laugh. And I would just talk to them again. I said, it's another opportunity for you. It's called the open enrollment period. And I'll explain to them how the open enrollment period works. Okay. And I would discuss that with them. And that person that said no to me in December, they remember that I blessed them during the holiday season. Now they're open to talk to me. Is everybody clear now? So talk about also on that call about the positive memories they had during the holiday season. Okay. What was good? You don't want them talking about anything bad. That's important because they'll tag you with negativity if you talk about anything negative. So they go negative, bring them back to positive. Say, hey, do you remember your first Christmas? What was your best toy, Miss Johnson? Oh, Light Bright. Oh, I love Light Bright too. Or it was Holly Oven. Let me ask you all this question that's on this call. What was your favorite toy back in the day? Come on, open the mic up. Michael, what was your favorite toy?
Honestly, I'm probably going to give a curveball here, but I want to say the Nintendo 64 video games.
All right, we didn't have that back then.
I know.
We had Atari.
Atari, well, that kicked it off. Yeah. No, I was like 9 or maybe 8 years old or something, and my parents got my brother and I the new Nintendo. This was back in the 90s. And that was like the coolest new thing. It was the perfect time as a kid where I could play video games and actually be competitive, and I wasn't just there, Right. I didn't, so yeah, I think that was the coolest. I think that was the coolest toy.
Remember the 70s, guys? We had Pong. So, guys, here's what you want to do. Here's the good thing. When I'm on the phone or in the field, when you're in that house or in the field with a client or on the phone, most seniors love reminiscing about the days when they were children. Talk about the Tonka truck. Talk about Holly Holly oven. Talk about their favorite toy, Evel Knievel, Stretch Armstrong. Bring back the times when they're in their 1930s, 1940s, 50s, 60s, whenever they were a kid during that phone presentation, but also in the field. When I'm in that house, I sit and reminisce the first 5-10 minutes. I talk about my favorite toy from my grandmother. I talk about my first Christmas when I got my first drum set, and I have them do the same. Does everybody clear how important that is? You want to bring good vibes into that presentation about the good old days, okay? Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So this is just a picture of some of the tips. I kind of showed you all that, but it really does work. Please use them. Go out and invest some money to invest in your business. Guys, you got to be willing to invest in your business. That's one thing I see. The biggest challenge, a lot of agents, Michael, and everybody on this call, agents that do not invest a dime into the business, and they wonder why they're struggling. You know, Mike, if you get into this business, you get out of this business where you put it in this business. You're not willing to invest in leads or gifts for your clients that it's legal to do it. If you're not willing to invest time and go an extra mile, no wonder you're struggling. You're struggling because if you're struggling in this business, look in the mirror. That's who the problem is. It's not the leads. It's not your upline. It's not Tony Holland. It's not Integrity or Global or the system or Cigna or Humana. And it's the agent. I talk to thousands of agents, the good, bad, and the other. I've seen them all. Every agent that's in this business could be a top performing agent if they decide to look at it as a top performing profession and do the little things that the top players do. You guys know that guy, Josh Youngs, is already over like 350 apps already for AEP. If he can do it, everybody on this call can do it. He got the same opportunity we have, but he's doing those little things like I'm teaching y'all today that work. Next slide, Michael. Next slide.
Hi, Tony. Can I say something while you're doing that?
Go ahead.
Everything that you're saying today is extremely important, and I'm taking it in. But I want to add one other thing. Our partners, like the clinics that they trust us with their clients, I call those my macro clients. And what I did last week, I went in and bought every one of them a huge box of chocolates, and it just melted their heart because they said no one has ever done that. And see, these are the people that we're getting huge volumes of referrals from. So you touch one clinic and you get referrals from them, because in each clinic, there's several people that are reaching out to you, offering you, telling you, I want you to call this person, that person, that person. So I just went to Aldi's, and Aldi's had this huge special on a large box of chocolate, 40 big chocolates. And I just bought everybody in the clinic a box, and they just hugged me and thanked me. And it just lets them know that little small token of appreciation is letting them know that I love them and I respect them. And they just send me all kind of clients. It's the easiest job in the world. Amen.
You know, it reminded me, Miss Willie Mae, I was out in Baltimore when I was an agent. I actually had a lead car, went into the senior complex, one of the centers. It was assisted living and all that. You know, it was kind of a multi-complex. And I was there seeing the client, and, you know, I got the manager came and got me and kicked me out. She was rude. She was disrespectful. She was negative to me. I said, but I'm here with a lead card. I got this. She goes, you didn't do this right. You got to be registered, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. All right. My mistake. Well, don't come back. You know what? I came back. I came back that day. You know what I came back with, Miss Willie Mae? I came back with a gift basket for her and the entire staff, and an apology letter to her. I said, I just didn't know. And guess who was the only registered agent for there on out in that building? Me. Because I knew she gonna take care. She gonna kick out every agent get in that building but me. So I got that whole building because I turned that negative, that bad situation to a positive, doing what you just said. That's important. Very good point.
You know what, Tony? Just one final note. Not only that, once you do something like that, then they'll start talking to you and telling you how much they appreciate you. It was saying, Willie Mae, you're a great closer for us. We know you send us the documentation right away. We don't have to call you back and ask you, what is the status on this client? Once you're done, you immediately document us. Those things are very important because they need that information to go forward. So
Absolutely.
it's not just being there, it's what are you doing while you're there and how effective and efficient you are while you're there.
Yeah, and you know, Willie, I mean, that's like group sales 101. Many companies, that's what they teach, whether it's pharmaceutical sales, anyone that's dealing with a group, you got to do that extra step. So very good point, Miss Willie Mae, because then they give you great referrals. They look out for you when there's challenges. And what they also do is they ward off all the other agents trying to get in. So guys, you have to do that. If you're working with churches, working with the Oak Streets, the Gen Cares, those little extra things you do for like Miss Willie Mae, I love it, the micro clients, that's critical. That's even more important than the clients because they're going to trust them before they trust anybody. And if you can get them on your side, that leader of the church or leader of the facility or leader of the Oak Street, center, you're in. Very good point, Willie Mae. Very good point. That's why we love having our pros like Willie Mae on the call. They extra sauce to our meetings. Thank you. So use holiday music, okay? I'm going to tell you something about that spirit of the music. Like when we started out, you want to be humming songs, singing songs. I used to take my phone into the house, remember the old Blackberries and stuff? I used to try to play music for my clients while I was in the house. When cell phones were able to start doing, was it Blackberries or was it iPhones? Whatever the first phone where you can play music, start doing that, okay? It works. Play music in the house. Play music in your call center. Put your people in the right frame of mind. Put you in a positive frame of mind. That spirit is contagious. It really is. It helps, with overcoming the no's. It makes your day go more smoother. Whistle and sing with your clients. I would even ask them when I went to the house, what was your favorite Christmas song? I would go on my phone and find it. Let's play it. Who sang that song? Nat King Cole. Okay, let's play it. And they would sing along with me right in the house. Play the songs. Yes, you will look a little crazy, but I think that's good. Look crazy is good. But your clients will love you for it. Have fun helping people with insurance benefits that they need to begin with. So to me, it was always an easy. That's why it blows me away when people struggle in this business, because I had so much fun out there. I never came home without sales because I was having fun with the clients. They bought from me because they loved me and they knew I loved them. So you got to bring that extra ounce of, spirit to your presentation. Okay. Use holiday music. Next slide, Michael. So I want to make sure I end this meeting on time because time is money. Okay. So capitalize on TV and everything. That's why this is so important. Most people spend more money during the month of December than ever. But I want to also twist this up a little bit. It's about $1,500 people spend according to recent studies. But they're saying that's hard to do now because of what inflation has done, cost of gas, cost of oil. These are trying times for people. They said this is going to be the toughest holiday season for most people, okay? So please keep that in mind. What better way to help them if you could free up money that they're spending on healthcare that they don't need to spend, okay? And to me, that's something you need to lead with in your presentations. Ms. Johns, I know times are tough. I mean, you just turn on the news and see it's tough. I got family members in the same boat you would. I'm in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. Everything's 40 to 50% high, right? Everything's going through the roof. I don't know how average people are making it out there. Let me make a difference in your life. And use that holiday advertisement to help benefit your presentation. And I used to always use this phrase like, give the gift that keeps on giving. Miss Young, you can buy all these toys and these gifts, but make sure you have your health care and your life insurance in order, because that's the gift that keeps on giving, okay? So make sure you stress that in your presentation as well. Next slide. And please make sure you submit your current book of business. That I know it's higher now. It's 55 cents, Michael. We'll change that. But, that card, that holiday card to your client, postcard or envelope letter that you send your client will bring you back hundreds and thousands of dollars in the future with referral business and renewals. Too many agents come to me. They'll come to me in January, February. My renewals aren't what they should be. Well, did you take care of your business? Did you send them a holiday card? See, a lot of agents are called hit and run agents. They make the sale and disappear. You disappear on your agent, somebody's going to pick them up. Somebody's going to come steal your agent, especially during OEP. Please make sure you're doing the holiday cards. You got 50 clients, every one of them should get a holiday card. You got 500 clients, 1,000 clients, hire somebody part-time, hire a senior part-time. It don't take a lot of intelligence to do a holiday card for your client. Hire somebody for $15, $20 an hour part-time to do your holiday cards for you. But every one of your clients, you get a holiday card from you. I don't care if they've been with you 5 years or 5 days, they need to get a holiday card from you. And even, as I said earlier, even your nose should get a holiday card from you. There are going to be clients of yours come in January and February. Send them a holiday card too. Show someone that you sincerely love and care about them. And it's more than just making a commission. It's more than just making a sale. See, I think that's another key thing that I was so different. They were when I got those leads, I said, these are new family members to me, not new clients of mine, not new sales of mine. They are new family members of mine. That's the kind of passion I've had for this. You gonna love me because I'm gonna love on you. And I used to say that all the time. Someone's gonna get adopted, Miss Johnson. You gonna adopt me, or I'm gonna adopt you. Let's see who gets adopted today. Okay, we're gonna be family because I'm there to make a difference in your life. I'm here to change and save lives. That's my passion. That's my mission. And today you're gonna be the client I'm gonna help the most. You know, so I didn't care about those objections. I didn't care about the no's. I know I'm gonna make a difference in their lives. Okay, next slide, Mike. So I know we're getting low on time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Make sure you submit your book of business, okay? Make that extra phone call. I want you all to do this too. Besides the card, make a call. Wish them happy holidays. And most of them will be voicemails. Hi, Miss Johnson. It's Tony Holland calling. You're lovable, likable, charming insurance man. Just want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and may you have a prosperous New Year. May your family continue to be blessed throughout next year and many years to come. Call me if you need any help. I love you. I'll be in touch. Call me if you need anything. That's it. Leave it on their answer machine. Anybody can do that. You should call every one of your clients, do that. Your sales and no sales. Because here's this. Your lead cards that didn't buy from you are still sales too. They're just not sales yet. So you want to leave that with every single one of them. They'll be impressed, especially the ones that didn't buy from you. You actually called and left me a voicemail. That was so nice of you. Right now, I'm busy, but what are you doing next week in January? Wonderful. Let's talk then. Okay? So do that with every one of your clients. Leave them a voicemail. Especially the ones that didn't buy from you, speak to them as you already are a client. They're already a client of yours. Do that. You already are their insurance agent. You can say that. You're just the insurance agent in waiting. Okay? They're going to be a client of yours. It's just coming soon. Okay? So everybody, does that make sense, everybody? What do y'all think of that?
Good idea, Tony. Good idea.
Trust me, try it. Leave a voicemail wishing them happy holidays, Merry Christmas, prosperous New Year, and bless them, the ones that didn't buy from you. Watch how many of them call you back. Just leave them a voicemail. They'll be a customer of yours, trust me, in the next 30 days. Trust me, it works. Next slide, next slide, next slide. So another way is to submit your book of business, send cards, and call even your no shows. I just note no sales because they will be a source of sales in the near future. Reports indicate that 50% of those will be sales in 2 to 3 months. Try it and see. Tom Hopkins, the famous Tom Hopkins, made this famous and made him a multi-millionaire selling real estate. It really does work. Next slide, Michael. Next slide, Michael. So just real quick, we're gonna wrap this up. Why people buy insurance during the holidays? People are in a generous frame of mind. People are thinking about their loved ones. People spend more freely and have more money during the holidays. People are more courteous. I mean, people open doors for each other. Everybody's in a better frame of mind. It's a great way to capitalize on that good spirit. So it's easier getting to the door. It's easier talking to them on the phone. People are making New Year's commitments and resolutions. Why not make getting their Medicare insurance taken care of now before December 7th? Next slide, Michael. So if you follow the system, it works. Test me on it. I'll guarantee it. You do exactly what I taught y'all today. No doubt in my mind, you make 30 apps a week. You do 30 sales a week. If you apply yourself and do exactly what I tell you, because it works. It works, especially for those that are negative, especially those clients out there that said no to you. You'll turn them around in a heartbeat. And this entire document can be found in the chat line. Michael, would you put that up?
Yep.
Next slide, Mike. Next slide, because I know we got a lot to do in the next 2 minutes. Any questions about that? What you guys think? Good session? Good workshop?
Awesome, Tony.
Awesome, Tony. Now, Michael, did you know about the video that was posted from the holidays? I actually did a video with my social media company. Did you post that? Or have you posted that?
I have not.
Can you do that? Are you able to find that while I'm taking questions? There's actually a video I made on this, guys, kind of a short video with my social media company that, a lot of people have tapped into already. Can you go ahead and post that up, Michael? You have that to post, or you want me to send it to you?
I think I can get it. Give me 1 second. Got to go pull the curtain back and take a peek at what we have here. 4 insurance tips to crush it during the holidays.
That's it.
That's it. Share. Boom. In the chat.
You'll have that. Watch that. Some extra tips for you guys. Pretty much a mini version of what we shared today. Somebody asked, what's the question there, John? Michael, what's the explanation for the deadline? The deadline is December 7th, if that's what you mean. That's the last day for annual enrollment period, December the 7th. That's the deadline. Because see, when people in sales know there's a deadline, there's a cutoff, it gets those procrastinators to make a decision. So you need to put a deadline there. We need to get this done before December 7th. And I got 50 people every week to see Miss Johnson. I need to get you done today because I might not be able to get back to you after December. And after December 7th, you got to wait next year, okay? So we got to get this done now, okay? Thought this was very good stuff, especially what Willie May added. Very good stuff. Thank you, Willie May, for adding that. You're a true blessing and a true pro, the Queen of Chicago.